Good morning. Well, you'll notice the Beatle albums, of course, are Abbey Road and Beatles 6. Not that they're my favorite albums or that they hold any part of significance to me. I loved all the Beatle albums. Truly, I was a fan from when I was 10 years old. First time I ever saw the Beatles was on Jack Parr. I was spending the night with Mike Thornton. I'll never forget it. And his family's laughing at the Beatle clip because Jack Parr was setting it up as a comedy piece. He thought it was funny. He had a camera, a black and white camera, and he brings back footage of this band. And Mike and I are going, "Holy crap, that's amazing!" And his parents are laughing. And so, from the very start, I've always been a Beatle fan. Last night's special on CBS, it was okay. I could have done with more McCartney and Ringo playing and less of the band tributes, the music that I remember. It's nice of these people to, I just kind of was thinking, it's kind of like Richard Pryor's material. It'd be like doing a tribute to Richard Pryor and having all the comedians come up and do Pryor's material in front of him. Nobody's going to do it better than Pryor. You just got to get used to that. Nice tribute, but let's just stick with the stories. And I thought Letterman did a great job with the interviews. It was great to see him back in the Ed Sullivan Theater. And when Ringo and Paul played together, it was a great time. So brought back a lot of memories for me, both good and bad. I was 10 years old when the Beatles first started, and by the time I was 15 in 1969 and about to begin my first job in radio, the Beatles had broken up. So really, in professional broadcasting, I only got a chance to play their solo albums, which started with I think Paul McCartney was first with a solo album. So I loved every minute of it. I truly loved the clips and seeing them back in the Ed Sullivan Theater and hearing the special stories about the microphone problems and the girls screaming and the technicians couldn't hear the calls from the control room. And so it meant a lot in the timeline of my life as well. I took great solace in the Beatles because it was a constant for me. My dad had a massive heart attack when I was 12, and I remember one of the things that that music was there. When life suddenly becomes very tumultuous, and he lived through it. He lived through it and came back, and we had him until 1986. But the thing is, when you have a group or music, I guess this speaks more to music that means something and speaks to your soul, you find yourself having an ally in things that are going on in your life, and you start remembering what happens when this song came out. And I remember that this was going on in my family when they released this, and that's the beautiful thing about music, is that it is a way of jarring things, at least for me, that happened. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have been alive. If you have a lottery win, that would be it, because to be alive for all of this and hear this music for the first time and the excitement of turning on the radio. I'd shoot hoops in the backyard and have my little transistor radio playing WNEX, and when the guy would say, "We have a new cut from a brand new Beatle album," everything stopped for me. And I had that transistor next to my ear and couldn't wait to hear what was going to come out of that radio next. It was always exciting and inviting at the same time. No wonder I got into radio. Are there any groups that have affected you that way, that you sort of look back at your life and go, this really was important to me? And I'm not saying the Beatles were the only one. There are a lot of them, but they were the main ones, and it did me a lot of good last night to see them back in the Ed Sullivan Theater and to share their memories. And maybe, I'm sure on the internet somewhere, all of this is going to pop up where you can watch too if you didn't have a chance to see it. As always, your thoughts, and we'll see you soon.